a live stream. And when I was trying to set up a live stream, it just told me there was a scheduled live stream. So if you're the 4 people who are waiting to see the scheduled live stream, hello? If not, then this is going well. Well, hello, it's Friday afternoon, or Friday evening actually now. It's 8 o'clock, is it? No, 8:01 so I managed to get this more or less on time. Not doing too badly. It'll be about an hour at the most, I would say, tonight, because the latest we could book an Indian takeaway to be delivered was 9 o'clock, so I planned this badly. Hello, how you doing? Nice to see the regulars. How are you all? Hope you're well. Evening, Paul. Evening, Jonathan. Yeah, it's nice to have done a few of these now to sort of see sort of regular names coming up to sort of say hello to you guys. It feels like a bit of a community coming together now. Evening, Tom. Hello, Matt. You right? It's been a busy old week in the car world, hasn't it? Yeah, Aston Martin laying off people, the Lookers people laying off people, but hopefully you've all had a chance to get some fun cars yourselves out into the open while it's been sunny up until yesterday. And yeah, hello Nicola, you all right? Hello, Noel, how you doing? So anyone who's a channel member, I can see you're a channel member because your name comes up in a different colour writing with a little badge next to it. So it's always nice to hear from you guys. Good morning, Chris. Become a Furious Driver. Someone has just become a Furious Driver. I've got your Furious Driving logo next to you, so if you write a question, I will now see that. Good evening, Dave. Hello. Hello, everyone. Gosh, this is busy already. 64 people already. This is possibly the busiest live chat we've done so far. This is exciting. Hello, Paul. Well, Paul, you need to go and buy a classic car. Yeah, definitely do it now while the sun's out. Get driving your first classic. What's my favourite curry? I really like chicken, and it's called a Kashmiri, which is kind of a sweet one, and always a Peshwari naan. I always have that as a guarantee. The Rover. The Rover is finally coming together. Expensively coming together, but it's happening. But yeah, I've got more bits that arrived in the post today. Yet more expense. There was a cheap part and an expensive part, and naturally it was the expensive part that was broken. Hello to Keith just there. That was his Punto we saw in the review today. That was a bit of a funny one to place, whether to do that as a modern Monday or as an actual retro, but I figured 2010 is my cutoff for modern cars, or modern Mondays anyway, and as those cars came out in 2006, I think I said. Hello, John and Lisa, and haven't done a Premier P12 yet, not yet, no. Got one planned though. Yes, but I decided because it was 2006, that would be a retro one, so yeah, that's been getting not a bad review. People seem to love or hate Fiats and Italian cars, but I love them, so I'm happy to do some more. Look, I cannot wait to hear the V8. This is Dave saying, can't wait to hear the V8 running, and that's been a long time coming, and neither can I. I'll scroll back because I missed a few because I'm talking. Ignorant about cars, but love the channel. Well, that's good. I'm really glad you do. It's about old school Top Gear. Make it fun, and don't need to worry about the cars too much. Oh, Matt Rutty, you took my advice. What did you do? I'm worried now. Hello, Laser Capri. Kettle is on. Excellent. All right, where are we? The Netherlands has arrived. Good evening, Netherlands. Mini Metro. Yeah, get a Metro. That's a great fun first car. Really popular now. Oh, you got the Rover mugs. Brilliant. Is that Chris there? Has it arrived? I have to say, I'm going to be honest, I got my Rover mug through the day. The next day when I washed it, the handle was cracked, which I was really disappointed about. But I emailed the customer service people at Redbubble and said, I've just bought my new Rover cup, and it was honestly my favourite cup this week, and said, what's the deal? It's arrived broken, first wash, and it's cracked. And they said, yeah, send a photo of the crack, and they are sending out a replacement one, which will be with me hopefully tomorrow, or maybe Monday. So I'm really pleased with that. Christian, you've just found the little car icons. They're cool, aren't they? Am I going to do the test drive on the 325 Ci at Stone Cold Classics, the E30? I get that asked that all the time. Unfortunately, some of the cars he has down at Stone Cold are what they call sale or return. They belong to people who are kind of placed with them to sell on their behalf. And because they're effectively customer cars, I can't drive them. That's one of them. So unfortunately, that's not one that's going to get tested, which is a shame because I love an E30 and a 325. Oh, Hyundai update videos. I would love to do some Hyundai update videos. Obviously, lockdown has prevented that. That's sold to a friend of mine who I've actually reviewed, I think, 2 or 3 of his cars now. He owned the F11 BMW. He owns that Hyundai now, but he had a friend who needed a car in a hurry, and that's on permanent loan to a friend of his. That's a friend of a friend has it now. We are hopefully going to catch up and do a few jobs on that car at some point. We keep on saying that we never get time to do it. So that is going to happen. Also, interestingly, the gold Rover 214, which we fixed up last year, I saw that on Facebook yesterday. That was getting some love. The owner was looking for help finding parts for, I think, the door catch or door handler broken. So that's still getting good care, and it looked really nice condition still, which is great. Lots more classic car reviews in the pipeline. In fact, I'm doing one first thing tomorrow, and I've got one booked on Monday, which I'm both very excited about. Getting a bit more Japanese actually this coming week, a bit more that direction. Worst car ever was a similar Punto. Oh dear. Would the diesel be better? I don't know if the diesel would be any better, to be honest. Gabriel Cooper, I'll take that as a promise. If I don't review a Volvo 480 in the next year, he'll have to buy one for me to review, which I'll absolutely take him up on. Harry just reviewed a Hyundai Cooper, as in Harry Metcalf. Oh, I've not seen that. So Jack's just retrofitted fog lights in his 98 Polo. Yikes, 100 quid for Polo fog lights. Ouch. Yeah, Mondeo 2.5 off the road with a rust. That's not uncommon, unfortunately. Yeah, get a Fiat Spider. They should have kept making that one. That was the best thing they had in the lineup. Fiat stopped making the Spider a little while ago. Any review of a Citroen C6? Do you know, I love the Citroen C6. I've not driven one, and since they were actually brand new, and we borrowed one to test drive as a new car review back in, 2000 and, I don't know, no idea, a long time ago. It was absolutely fantastic. What do I think of Ian's new car? I thought that might come up as a question this evening, because lots of people thought it was going to be the Peugeot 505. And I genuinely don't mean this as a diss against Ian, but Ian would not have spent as much money as that car was up for sale for. But it's definitely his version of a car that is fantastic. And I have to agree, I love the Peugeot 505 as well. The Mitsubishi Delica is a car I wish he hadn't bought it, because I want one. And now if I go and buy one, everyone would just go and say, "Oh, you're copying Hubnut now." But I would not be. It's just a car I love them. I think they're slow, thirsty, uncomfortable. They're not quite big enough for a camper, but they can just about get away with it. But they are just about small enough you can get them into a town centre. So in some ways they're brilliant, in other ways they're terrible. But no, I'm erring more on the brilliant bit. Flawed but fantastic in a weird kind of way. I love Ian's new car. I'm hoping, I've not spoken to him about it, rather hoping you might let me borrow it for a review at some point of my own. You saw one in Frodsham yesterday. I assume that's the Delica. Hello, Somerset. Christian, you did some maintenance in your 1.3 Grande? Yeah, they're a good car to work on. The 1.3 is not a big engine, so it fits in there quite happily. Triumph Acclaim was a great car. It's actually, funnily enough, the same owner as the Volvo 240 we tested a little while ago. He loves that car, and rightly so. It's a really nice car. He's found a good one, and he's put a lot of work into improving it. The problem with Triumph Acclaims is, though, that finding parts for them is really, really hard, because there's just so few left. Rover 200 review, which one? Because there are several I haven't done yet. Which one would you like? I've got more planned, though. Yeah, Mazda Bongo Friendly, one of my favourite car names of all time. Compared to the, how does the Mark Grande Punto compare to the Mark 1? There's virtually no shared DNA at all. They just look kind of similar. It's a much more grown-up, more modern car, really. Everything went out the window with the Mark 2. Favourite British TV car show? There was one I saw the other day, which was on Motor Trend, maybe? Or what was it? It was one of the satellite channels, and it was Gus Gregory and his mate, and they were doing, what the hell was it called? It was a bit like a buying a car, trying to fix it, flogging it on kind of show, but it was very honest, very fun, very good. I really enjoyed that. Toyota Joyful Canopy. There are some great names. I did a feature once on all the best names. Hello, Mr. Shadow. V6 petrol dedicated 14 mpg. Good God, that's terrible. What do I think about the WizKid? I think they're great. Find my review from about a year and a half ago and you'll see me loving a Suzuki WizKid. Any videos come up on repairs to the Mini? Well, the Mini doesn't need a lot of actual repairs, but I have got a few tidying up jobs to do on it, which I'm just kind of waiting to get sorted out. I just need to get bits, get people. It's just kind of slowly emerging from lockdown. I spoke to companies a little while ago during lockdown or at the end of it, and they're saying, yes, we can help you out with stuff, but not until we're back on the road again, effectively. But yeah, it's got a few dings to sort out, bits of trim to sort out. It's all very just finishing touches effectively on the Mini, really. Yeah, bongo camper would be so cool, though. Just to say you got a bongo camper, if nothing else. You thought Ian had brought back the mighty Dacia. I think that's given him enough heartache to last a lifetime. So I'm working backwards because the comments coming thick and fast tonight. Time in a breaker's yard today. Jack Brown spent time in a breaker's yard today. I am envious of anyone spending time in a breaker's yard getting bits. Sorry, I'm putting my hand over the camera. I did this again last week. So I'm going to quickly turn the iPad over just because. Oh, I can't. The operation is locked. You're all upside down. Damn. Sorry about that. Because the scrolling text is coming up on the left-hand side, which is where the camera is. And so every time I scroll to go and find the comments, I'm putting my hand over the camera, but it won't let me rotate the device. Will I be reviewing a Ford Focus or Sierra? I haven't yet, and I'd like to do both. I absolutely love the original Focus. I've been offered one for a review, but I'd actually quite like to go and buy an early Mark 1 myself, so I can then do my own, reviewing my own cars on a Focus. And my dad had a Sierra Sapphire company car back in the early 90s, which I was allowed to drive on his insurance, or the company's insurance, which I absolutely loved. It was so good. Are there any first generation Dacia Logans in the UK? I don't know if there are anymore, to be honest. There are some pretty peculiar things lurking around. I'd need to find one. Hey Maxi9, how you doing? Lancia Kappa. Oh yeah, God. Any of those sort of, that generation of Lancias are very hard to find these days around in this country. Any test drives in electric cars? I've done a couple so far. I've done BMW i3. We spent a day trying to do what we called the Huntington 100 laps of the Huntington Ring Road in a Leaf to see if we could make 100 laps. And the car was better at it than we are, because after 8 hours of continuous driving in the Leaf, we were just ready to just jack it in it, or just, I don't know, do anything but continue driving a Leaf. What else have we done? I've done the Toyota Mirai. I've done a couple of electric cars. I think I've done an electric car playlist, and I've got more hope to plan. Subaru SVX. Oh, I'd love to do an SVX. Ever owned an Asian car? I had a Mark 1 MR2 for a bit, which I absolutely loved, but the rust was a killer. That car is still around. Someone bought that, and he has fixed the rust, which I gave up on. Nice. That's the Lego Saturn V rocket over my shoulder there. The other channel is creeping up, Paul. It's Paul Lynch mentioning my. Thank you very much for segueing that in. I've got another channel called Clickbait, which is all about photography, and I've not had enough time to dedicate it to as I hoped I would. But I did have a go at developing film, so trying to do a how-to, which kind of went well in so much as I did develop a film and showed you all how to develop a film. But unfortunately, my light-proof changing bag for putting the film into the developing tank was no longer light proof, so when I pulled the film out it was just pitch black everywhere. But yeah, if you search what's a good one, Citroen C6 review, you'll find that channel, because it's not a big enough channel to find by its own name yet. I'll put a link later on. No, Rasa Rossa did not take me up on the radio control race car race. I'm disappointed. Was the Metro Rancho the first SUV crossover? It was the first SUV kind of soft-roader, wasn't it? Because it was a two-wheel drive chassis, what looked like what became the style of the Mark 1 Discovery. And that's another car I'd like to try and find. I'm actually actively looking for a Metro Ranchero. Why don't I review Volkswagens? That's not a. I haven't deliberately not done Volkswagens. It's just that none have come up. I actually know where an XL1 is, and I'm really quite keen to get that one done, but it's not local to me. I want to do various golfs. There's lots of things actually. A Matra Ranchero with toy box. I might have to make do with that. I don't know, just picked up along the way. Engineering skills, where did I learn that? Along the way. My dad was into fixing cars, and I've spent a lot of time in garages doing photo shoots for magazines about how you fix stuff. And I just bought the how-to books, read off the internet, picked up the Haynes manual and followed the instructions. I'd love to do some more Simcas as well. I love the original Volvo Puma. It's one of my favourite retro future classics. Is the Volvo challenge still going ahead? No, that would have been like the second week of lockdown, so that's off for the time being. However, I've got a different challenge of my own set up with it, and it's certainly not going to go anywhere until we've done that. I'm not going to reveal details of that until we've actually got it confirmed. But yeah, the car's sticking around for certainly a long time to get that sorted out. So I quite like a Volvo now. I might just try and find long-term parking for it. Simco 1000 Rally for a first car. Wow, that's really cool. Family discount, no doubt. How to get on with the neighbours? Pretty well, actually. Neighbours on the building side are really, really friendly people. We've lived next to them for 15 years and got on great with them. They're really nice. People on next to us immediately are fairly new, but they're quite nice as well. But which is the next car I'll get rid of? That's a really tough question. I honestly don't know. If I can never get the Mercedes 123 going, that might have to go, but I do like that and I really want to drive that at some point. I don't know really. I need to get the most basic 1.4 Focus. I wouldn't buy the 2 litre because I always buy the 2 litre. Tom Carr, Mark 1 friend at a Mark 1 Focus first car, bulletproof. Yeah, they are. The Mark 1 Focus was excellent. It combined everything that Ford do really well, as in tough, simple, reliable daily cars, but then just packaged it with a really innovative, groundbreaking new thing. Faux Focuses are fantastic. So I just missed whose name that was, but someone said the ST170 was awesome, and you're absolutely right, it was. So that was a channel member as well, so I think from the logo. So it keeps fading out as I read stuff. The text fades away, and I miss who said it. Christian Rover 225 facelift. Yeah, I think I prefer the earlier 200s actually. KK multiple with 1.9 diesel. Yeah. This is the thing. The 1.9 that the Fiat Multipla used and the Saabs was also used in the Alphas. The Alphas never had any problems with that 1.9 litre diesel because it needed to be just ragged all the time to stop itself clogging up. And in Alphas, people just thrashed them completely, and so they were fine. In Fiats and other things, they were driven sensibly, slowly, did school runs, did sensible driving, and so they clogged up their DPFs and they went wrong. Yeah, Dave, you're absolutely right. The Mark 1 Focus was a massive sea change because the Escorts had got worse and worse, and then the Focus came along. It was just rebranding, everything, new everything for Ford at that point. Cougars in Carlisle. I see we're talking about cars here. I'd love to do a Hillman review. Actually, I'd need to go and find my first boss at Classics Monthly because I think he's got a few imps. You're watching this in a 940 wagon. Oh, well done. I was going to do this in the car outside tonight, but I stepped outside and it was really cold and I thought I'd be shivering by the time we got back. Did you ever drive a Porsche and did I like it? I've driven a few Porsches. I used to not really get Porsches because I'd only driven like the front engine ones. I thought they were cool, but I never really sort of thought, oh man, it's amazing. But then I drove an air-cooled 911 and started working for a magazine which drove a lot of them. And then I kind of got it, and now I would quite like an air-cooled 911, but I'll never be rich enough. NSU-TT, ooh. That's an interesting thing. I don't think we got the NSU-TT. I'm pretty sure we didn't. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've ever had the NSU-TT in this country. Hello, Jimmy. How are you doing? Another channel member. If you are a channel member, there's a join button below all the videos. When we do live chats, your name comes up in a bright colour with a little logo next to you, so I can see that you're a channel member. And if you join as a channel member during the chat, I get a kind of alert saying hello to the new member. Nissan Primera. Yes, we've definitely got a Primera coming up. I need to go and find that person who offered that one. Am I nuts looking at a Subaru Outback on eBay? No, they're brilliant. The thing with Subarus is that I was just having this conversation with someone earlier, well, yesterday in fact, they're either the best car you've ever owned, it'll never let you down, or it'll bankrupt you in a month. Renault 4s, I love Renault 4s. I would take a Renault 4 over a Citroen C6. There, I said it. What's my day job? I'm a photographer for magazines. Skim up to the top because I think stuff's been coming in while I've been going backwards. Ever driven an Almira? Do you know, I've got a feeling I took my driving test in an Almira. It was a Nissan of the era, certainly. What do I think of the pedestrianisation of Norwich City Centre? I didn't know that had happened, to be honest. I always think it's a bit of a, I don't know, great for a pedestrian, not so great for you to get through the town in a car. Christian, Yugo, Florida. Don't know. Is that different to the regular Yugo? Because the Yugo, if you watched Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd, they had a Yugo in that, which we got over here as well. We just called it the Yugo as well. I'd love to get hold of one of them. Any progress with the W123? Well, I actually was at the Mercedes specialist who's said he can help me out with that today with the W204. And I asked him again, but what's happened is everyone has come out of the lockdown situation and they've brought their cars with problems to him, and he's working just round the clock. He's got extra people in, I think. But he said, yes, hassle him. He will come and look at the W123, because what I need to figure out is that engine economically fixable, or is that fuel injection economically fixable, or shall I just do an engine swap on it, or convert it to electric? I'm quite tempted to convert it to EV, which is a ridiculous thing to do. Do I love the sound of an inline 5-cylinder? Yeah, that's the best. Yeah, Yugo Florida was the sauna here. Okay. Seat Toledo. I've actually reviewed a Seat Toledo on the channel. It was a pretty good car. It wasn't particularly exciting, but it was very good. It belongs to Joseph of Tweed Jacket Reviews, Lloyd's Vehicle Consulting channel. You can find reviews on both of our channels of that car. The Almira 2.2D was the fastest. That wasn't what I took my driving test in. Yeah, Tom, 1.2 petrol Fiat Grande would be very slow. Oh, Mr. 2CV code hovering over unsubscribe. Don't do it. I'll review a 2CV and make up for it. Yeah, the Nissan Primera GT was massively underrated. Dave, yeah, you're quite right. Everyone kind of just overlooked it, went straight to the Fords, the Vauxhalls. 70s Lincoln Conti or Cadillac Coupe de Ville? I would go for a Lincoln Conti. Just a bit more classy, more presidential. The good old-fashioned presidents, not the current one. Would you like to test drive a 1990 Carlton 3-litre GSI? Hell yes, I would. Yeah, a lot of people. John did a test in a Nissan Micra. Hello, Gary Coleman. I have... yeah, you're a long way, but I do need to go to the West Country. Actually, Western-super-Mare, that is where I bought my Alfa Romeo sign from. Carlton Diplomat was cool. Hope that won't talk to me anymore. Oh, is that if I go and buy a Dacia, not Dacia, sorry, a Delica. You've got too many things beginning with "duh" and that sound weird. I have not Scottish car in DSTV. Hello again. I have driven an Almira, as I just said in a different comment. I took my test in one. I'm hoping to get a review of one at some point. And someone asked earlier, I was going to come back to that and I kind of forgot. What do I think of the Rover 200 BRM? And that was definitely coming back to that question, because that is one of my favourite cars, which I really, really wanted back when they were current and I couldn't afford them. So I'd love to go back and revisit that. If one came up right now, I would just snap it up if it wasn't silly money. The Peugeot garage, oh, that was so good. I really been wanting to go into that building for so long, so that was really cool to actually get a chance to go and look around that. Car magazines have been suffering during the lockdown. A lot of them have run to a 2-monthly sort of edition, or 2 monthly, sorry, getting 2 months out of the current edition to sort of save costs. I'm hoping that about 3 or 4 have gone to the wall, hoping not too many will die in the near future. Where are we? So I'm missing comments. The screen's too small and it fades out too fast. Which two original cars would you bring back from now to the 70s? Well, obviously the Rover 2000 or V8, P6 basically, and good question. I don't know what I'll bring back because a lot of them are still going. I was going to say Cadillacs, but Cadillacs still going. Corvettes are still going. Triumph 2000. I'd like to see another Triumph or a Wolsey. Mercor XR4 Ti. We actually had that as the Sierra XR4 Ti over here, and a couple of years ago I nearly bought them for 600 quid. Now they're like tens of thousands of pounds. They're really quite fun. I've just sold my XJS and I'm keen on an E38 7 Series BMW. Shall I? Check it very carefully. If you get a good one, it would be absolutely stunning. If you get one that's not good, then it will ruin your life. But yeah, they are great if they're good. Yeah, Triumph 2500 Pi, that would be awesome. Mark 3 Escort 1.3 or Orion 1.3? I prefer the Orion. I love the look of that. Evening, James. I'm right at the bottom of the stream here. Rover 416 SEI. Yeah, they're cool. There are not many Rover 200 BRMs left. There's one actually lives near here, which I saw at a show last year, and I got the guy's number and I forgot to go back. Here we go. Alcoholic Driver. This is light the blue touch paper and walk away. Love the channel. So you don't like SUVs? What do I think of the Alfa Stelvio? I hate the Stelvio. It's the worst car Alfa I've ever put out, and that includes the Arna in that. It's massive. It's oversized. The interior is too small for the size of the exterior of the vehicle. The boot is tiny on it. Look at the size of the wheels. It needs the wheels to be massive to try and obviously steady the design proportions, but also just encroaches. It's like a Tubbs gasser or drag racer because of that. No, it's completely wrong. Performance car brands doing SUVs, it's simple cash in. Obviously they need the cash to get the company going, but it's just the absolute worst, and I hate it. And I hate the Acclaim, not the Acclaim, sorry, that's a really different comment. The Stelvio, I hate the Stelvio. Do I like the Brera? Yeah, the Brera was lovely, especially the ProDrive 2.2, which is the best one where ProDrive really sorted out all the handling. Yeah, the Acclaim was fantastic, utterly different. Volkswagen Senator 24 valve, that was a monster back in the day, yeah. Yeah, the 200 BRM was basically a regular Rover 200 bubble, but it had a different diff and a special interior. Astra GTE, they were really cool. They mostly got crashed though. I loved that kind of Mark II Astra, the kind of curvy one. I always get the marks of Astras mixed up. But yeah, I think they're quite cool things, and they're very much overlooked. I did do some photos of one for a car magazine a year, 18 months ago, and the guy restored it at a huge expense, and it was fantastic. The BRM bright orange grille, that was a reference back to the BRM racing cars of the 50s and 60s. So that was like a homage, if you like. I did love My Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes. Cortina, all the cars are brilliant. I prefer the Audi actually to the Cortina. And I won't often say I prefer an Audi. 205 Rally would be amazing to review. Yeah, just trying to find these things. Oh, hello Simon Redfern, welcoming you as a Furious driver. Welcome to the channel. Great to have you along. Yeah, someone's replying to the BMW 38 question. Yeah, Hoovy has had a bad run, but then he does buy the cheapest, worst versions, and he's kind of asking for it. But then with the level of his channel's success, when he buys a terrible car and gets several 100,000 views on that, that pays for buying a terrible car and everyone laughs at him and calls him an idiot. He makes a lot of money from everyone calling him an idiot because they've watched him being an idiot. He's quite shrewd. Where are we at? So, Night Rider car or the A-Team? I assume you mean the A-Team van. I would go for the Night Rider car because it's mega cool. Or would I go, if it's anything from the A-Team, would I have the Faces Corvette C4? Yes, I would, because that's my favourite C4. It's my favourite Corvette. Marco Morrison 1100. Oh, yeah. I really want a minor. Yeah, diff in a Rover 200. Front wheel drive cars do still have differentials, and it's different final drive and different ratios of better acceleration. I think it's lower top end but better acceleration than the BRM. Pontiac Aztec. You know, I'd actually quite like to own a Pontiac Aztec because they're so bad they're good, except they're not actually good, they're just bad. But it was a brave move of Pontiac to try and break the their kind of downward spiral of boring designs with something that was actually very futuristic and ahead of its curve, a bit like the Rover Streetwise, sort of jumped in too soon and no one really got it. Can't buy one because it's just so awful and weird and everyone would laugh, but I'd get a kick out of that. Mark 1 Twingo, already a classic, and yeah, I think it is actually, and definitely the original Ford KA is a future classic as well. Oh yeah, Kevin, drop me an email, bodyintheboot@gmail.com with details of those cars. 400,000 mile 124. I want to drive that. Send me an email. I'll come find you. County Durham's a long way away though. Might not be this week. Volvo V70. I really like that. All Volvo estates I'm quite fond of. I think they were quite understated and quite cool. I think the XC70, I really quite like the look of that. The kind of off-roady four-wheel drive, slightly lifted up thing. If they did a manual in that, actually, I'm not sure if they did or not. I think it's only autos. Yeah, actually, the new V70, which is the big estate which the police use. I was out in the in the 740 today, and an unmarked one of them followed me up the motorway for quite a long way. I don't know if he thought I was suspicious or if they just thought it was cool to be following an old 700 series, but they followed me quite a long way up the motorway. So hello chaps in your unmarked Volvo estate. I'm from Kent Police. Hello to you guys if you're watching. Yes, they did do a manual. Ah, okay, cool. Maybe I'll go and look at one of them one time. Mark 1 Espas, that's a design classic. I'd love to get one of those driven on the channel. 2014 V40RR design. Drop me an email. I'd love to drive that. Now you're looking at Mazda bongos. Yes, you need to do that. Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. If I buy an Aztec, I've got to buy a PT Cruiser. No, there are limits. Second generation Mitsubishi Pajero. They were tough. They were typical Mitsubishi. They were tough. I don't know how good they were off road actually, but they were very tough. They were very reliable. Typical Mitsubishi in that respect. MGB GT. I know Ian said on Facebook today he wouldn't have one. They're good cars. They are really good cars actually. My brother had one when he probably one of his second or third cars when he was a teenager. I really quite like them. I don't know whether I would have one because they're kind of everywhere, and I always like to buy things that are a little bit different. But yeah, I wouldn't say no. If one came up for the right price, I'd have an MGB. I think they're quite cool. Velsatis, yes. You're throwing some good cars at here tonight. Velsatis and Aventime, I would have either one of them in a heartbeat. And the road tax on them is horrific because they're quite big engines and they're a bit thirsty. And they're really, really brave bits of design. Renault trying to push the envelope of what they could do with what their existing technology. Because they're built by Matra, weren't they, in their factory for Renault, but using Renault mechanical parts. I think they're beautiful. I'd love one. Daihatsu 4-track Bertoni Freeclimber. Is that the different version of the 4-track with 600? That'd be really cool. Anything with a 6-cylinder from BMW transplanted in it is generally pretty cool. Matt Rutter looking for a fight here from anyone who wants to chime in. MGB had the best exhaust sound from any 4-cylinder engine. Okay, everyone, hold your points. Who wants to argue with that? Morgan with the Duvrin V6. No, Duvrin V6 is terrible. Mark on T-Bow, they're lovely, really cool. Nissan Prairie, Daihatsu Move, or Perodua Canary. That would be an amazing three-way test to do. Just trying to find any one of them be an experiment in frustration. Did you know they did a 3.5 V6 in the Espas from the Nissan 350Z? Did I do that? That was quite a late one, wasn't it? Yeah, I do remember that. Horrifically thirsty. Honda Accord Aero Deck or Volvo 480. Oh, I like them both. I might go for Honda actually, just for a change of scene. Um, Vectra C, no, sorry. None of the Vectras really did it for me. I've driven a few of them and they're always disappointed. Sorry. Insignia was a much better looking car actually. Oh, well, yeah, Maxi9. Yeah, drop me an email. We'll talk about the Audi in that case. Then give me some dates. Hello, Bucharest Guided Tours. Ford Probe or Vauxhall Calibra? I think I'll go with the Calibra. I really like the Calibra actually. The Probe was good, but it was always out-handled and just out-cooled by the Calibra back in the day. Oh, don't fade. I was halfway through reading something. Sorry, I was being very disjointed because things are fading out too fast. Thoughts on a Toyota Picnic for a review? Do you know, one of my neighbours has actually got a Toyota Picnic and I keep meaning to go and ask them if I can borrow it, but I'm sure they think I'm utterly crazy. Soul music or rock? I'm more of a rock person, but I do quite like soul music as well. Actually, more sort of rock into blues, if I'm going to be honest. Challenger Hellcat? Hell yeah. Trump Pence 2020? God, I hope not. Hello, Kevin. How you doing? Alpha Arna. I quite like the Alpha Arna in a weird kind of way. It's a it's a textbook case of how to do everything backwards and wrong. Get the Italians to do the electrics and get the Japanese to do the styling. It could have been so good if they got the Italians to draw the outside of it and the Japanese to do the mechanic. Oh no, didn't work out. Yeah, which is why there's only one left on the road in the UK, I think. If I had to buy a car from 1979 or older for £2,000, what would it be? If I could still find one, I would probably buy something like a Mazda or a Toyota Estate because they're really, really cool. But yeah, very hard to come by. I nearly bought one a couple of years ago and it was absolutely fantastic. It was orange Mazda, I think, and I really regretted not buying it ever since. 90s Honda Civic VTI, yeah, they're cool actually, yeah. A Mega facelift, yeah, they're always good. And that's not an Airfix, it's Lego, which took a long time to build. The Saturn V over my shoulder. Yeah, Toys Picnics, I believe, have got a column change, you're right. The Duratalk V6 is actually a Porsche developed engine. I didn't know that. What's wrong with automatics? What's right with them? If you can tie your own shoelaces, why do you buy Velcro shoes? They take all the fun and all the style and all the life and all everything good out of driving. If you, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a positive about automatics. If you can't be bothered, then they're quite handy, I suppose. If you, in some way, not got all your legs, then they're quite handy. But no, they're just rubbish. They just spoil a car. They make it utterly lifeless and joyless. Toyota Tercel, haha. Yeah, they're rare, is what they are. I've never driven one. They look quite cool though. I'd love to see Ian's back on the road. Oasis or Blur? Oasis actually. I did actually see them in, what was the football ground in London? Millwall's football ground. That was the most threatening feeling mainstream gig I've ever been to. And police on horses guiding people to the tube stations. But it's a great gig though. It's all Black Rubber Motorcycle as a support act. Where are we? Rover 623 GSI, yeah, they're cool. They're very rare though. I like a 600. They're a very underrated car. Where are we? So I'm losing my place in the live stream constantly. 80s Subaru Legacy was a hideous car, but very good. Well, yeah, they're kind of weird looking, aren't they? The styling was very kind of flat and odd. Blur were cool, but yeah, I think Oasis just had the edge back in the day. Now, Clarkson for once wasn't wrong about the Vectra. The Vectra was not as good as it could have been. Oop, got flipping iPad. Yeah, no, Saab turbos were fantastic. The 9.5 turbo 2.3, just finding one of the things is the problem. Renault 25 Baraka V6. Now they are, I don't know, are there any left on the road in the UK? I'd love to drive one if there is one. You spot an advertisement at your garage when you get your clutch done. Wow. But you're quite a long way from me, unfortunately. Renault Traffic, as in the van. Is the Alpha 145 ready for the road? No, because I need to go and shuffle it off to get an MOT, which involves a bit more welding, which is beyond my level in the strut tops, and get some new, what do you call them, brake hoses made up, and I've not had a chance to get it shuffled over to the garage for that work yet. So yeah, I think I've caught up now. God, if I missed your question, sorry. Well, the Euro NCAP 0 on the Punto it's a bit unfair really, because it was a five-star car when it first came out. So because it didn't have things like collision avoidance and airbags in the back seat, that it got not marked down so badly. So don't worry about the Mito being unsafe. It's a fine car. It's not a problem. Oh, good, Jimmy Yellow. People are enjoying the what do you call it? The Punto. I wasn't sure how that would go down or not, to be honest. Paul, you're an automatic fan. Oh, well, I had a DSG and it ruined the Stelvio pass for me, and never going back. Sticking with manual from now on. Is a Lexus IS200 a possible modern classic? Well, yeah, give it time. It's still probably a bit too new to be a modern classic at the moment. But yeah, I think it's kind of early Lexuses have kind of got a bit of a following. So yeah, you never know. I don't think it'd be particularly valuable because old Lexuses tend to be very cheap. But yeah, Insignia 2.8 V6. I've not driven one. I'd like to. Alpha 159 or Giulia or why? Well, it depends on the model. If it's a four-wheel drive 159, I would go with that. Otherwise, it would be the Giulia because it's rear-wheel drive. They both look really cool though. That's what Alpha needed, a very cool saloon. Although you could get an estate version of the 159, you can't get an estate Giulia. So, are you live yesterday? I was alive yesterday. I wasn't live yesterday on the internet though. Old school Skoda Rapid, you mean like the rear engine air cooled jobs? Yeah, they're fun. Oh, that's Estelle, sorry, I'm thinking of Estelle's. Yeah. Hello, Crozier. Wow, that's a night out. Watching me drink tea from a car in a car park in Manchester. Wow, you're living the dream. Hello, Poland. I think that might have been the police. 11 white cars went past my house, and that's the police closing in. Mitsubishi Celeste. I have no thoughts on the Mitsubishi Celeste for some reason. I've never given that car a thought. I don't know why. Paul Higgins, 4 Skodas. Yeah, people do so latch onto Skoda. I've never owned one. Maybe I need to get one at some point. So you bought a Peugeot 405 and a Citroen XM today. Well done, sir. Have I heard of the Alpha 155 GTA Stradale? Is that the full-on race one with a removable bodywork? Yeah, Autobox is fine for commuting. I guess that's the one thing. When I did work in London for a little while and I was driving up into central London, and I did briefly have an auto on loan, it was quite nice in the Blackwall Tunnel traffic. So, yeah, grab a shot of the Aventine in the garage. That'd be awesome. Can you remap a Rover 420? Sort of to a very limited extent, because it's the same engine as the Rover 200 I've got. And I think it's not so much a remap, it's a whole new ECU. Then you can recontrol it. Don't see many sub 900s now. You don't, do you? No, they're all vanishing completely. Even in fact, the older ones, you see more of the older shape ones than the newer shape ones. MGC, yeah, they were brilliant. They were better than the MGB. They were let down at the time because the suspension and tyre technology wasn't really up to the weight of the engine. But if you buy one now, put modern shocks like Coney's or something on it, and then some decent tyres, then they actually handle really well. Fiat Tipo Sedeciali Valvoli, yeah, they are really cool. So rare now. Used to own your first car, a Mark IV Combi. Yeah, I've still got my second car, which is the Rover 2000. So that's yeah, a long time in the same garage, and I bought that not long after I passed my driving test. So it's rather nice having that kind of link to the past. Nissan Laurel, they're quite fun. You just don't see them in this country very often. Evening, Steve. I think we're all fine. First car, Pug 405. That is quite an unusual first car. Am I into motorbikes at all? No, I like the idea of motorbikes, but I've only driven one or two, and I've fallen off both of them at less than walking pace, and that kind of put me off. Show a Rover 416 SI. Oh, if I can find one. Any plans to extend my driveway and a garage? Well, I can't extend my driveway because the land around it belongs to the neighbours, and they use their own driveways quite a lot. I have got a sort of half plan to turn the spot where the Alpha/Mini and the W123 is next to the garage into a large carport. Oh, hello, Peugeot dude. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, that goes in the tea fund, and we'll buy some biscuits to keep me going in the garage. Ever driven a Renault 6? No, I don't think I have actually. I think I need to. Punto Bath are awesome. They're mental cars. I've got one of those coming up at some point to drive. Oh, you 420 and 620. The 420 uses the K series, so that is remappable. The 620 uses the T series, which you need new ECU for. There. Favorite modern Alpha? I'm going to go 159, but in Q4 estate form, or second up to that, the 156, because the 156 is just beautiful. In fact, they stopped making the 156 by then, so the 159. 159 it is. Ever seen a Volvo 780 in the wild? Yes, I have actually at a car dealer a few years ago. I was with Mike Renault, the journalist from Classics Monthly, and we saw one in a shed at a car dealer's, and yeah, we had quite a fun day out that day. That was the infamous "Here's your brick" day out, and we set off in a Jensen, which was barely road legal, barely running. Lovely car. As we drove off, the dealer said to us, "And before you go, lads, here's your brick." And we looked at him saying, "Our brick?" So yeah, the handbrake doesn't work. So if you stop on a hill, here's your brick. Second car, Twingo Mark II. Oh, turbo. Ooh, that'd be fun. Road test a VW Type 3 or 4. Yeah, I need some Volkswagens. I've never done any air-cooled Volkswagens on the channel. Need to get that sorted out very soon. Mark, yeah, that sounds quite interesting. What made Mercedes-Benz dealing? Where are you? It'd be quite interesting to have a look around. Audi S6. I'm not really a big Audi fan, but the S6 is kind of interesting. It's a big car, but sporty as well, so a bit different. V70Rs, they're quite fun. They're very, very discreet. But Q car, I do like a Q car. Whoops. I did wonder if this would come up. Yeah, the thoughts on the scrappage scheme. It's not been confirmed yet. I really hope it doesn't come to that, because there are other ways of supporting the motor industry, and by taking old cars out of the system to support the new car industry, you're hurting the old car industry, all the independent garages, all the breakers yards, the parts suppliers, the entire rest of the system. So yeah, I think a scrappage scheme is bad, not just for the loss of the cars, which I think is terrible in its own right, but for the for everyone else who makes a living out of older cars, which is millions of people, which are worth millions and billions of pounds. You got both got what do you got, plush toy of a Twingo? How's that even a thing? What size socket do I use on my logo? I think it was about 8 or 20mm or so. I took a photo of a socket and then photoshopped it onto a photo of a steering wheel, and then spent a long time in Photoshop grunging it up. Aha, I like this comment. SUVs utter crap, rubbish driving dynamics, less load space than a station wagon, high up in the air but no roadability at all. Thank you. This is have you just been listening to me and equating me back to myself? Because that's exactly what I say all the time. Thank you for saying that. Best magazine to take photos for? Evo Car? Actually, no. I think my two. I'm not going to say absolute favourites because I don't want to offend any of my other magazine editors. So it tends to be the smaller magazines who are my favourites to work for. Say, for example, Custom Car, Classic American, Rolls-Royce Bentley, Classic Jag, Classics Monthly, because they're a smaller operation with less people, and the editor just kind of trusts you to get on with doing what you want to do. It gives you the details of the car, and you only go off and take the photos, send them back, and hopefully they like them. I quite like that kind of independence and freedom. But on the other hand, though, working with a big magazine is more of a production, and you do get to go to more exciting places and get into incredible things. Thoughts on the new MGs? They're just SUVs, aren't they? I'm not really excited by them. I'm sure they're fine, but I can't get excited about SUVs. Yeah, fly, drive, ride. Yeah, a week off to work on the car. It's raining. I've got the last bits I need, I think, hopefully now to sort the V8, and it's pouring rain outside as well. Why was there never a Signum VXR? Good question, because it was the one car in the range that really deserved it. But yeah. Oh God, I'm dropping the iPad again. Auto Plush. Okay, I'm going to have to go and find them later on. Yeah, I've actually just started doing Scrappage Scheme Survivor stickers in the Redbubble store. Not in anticipation of that, because I used to have one in the back of the Tomcat, and I lost it when the window broke. So I had to make my own because I couldn't find one I liked. So I made my own. Oh, James, sorry, I missed you. Pop that through. James, £5 to the T Fund. Thank you very much indeed. I missed you. I was talking about something else, and that scrolled right by me. Thank you. Do 15 mini-inch wheels on the Mini make it tolerable? Yeah, it's actually too soft, if anything, on the Mini. It's using Continental Sport contact tyres on that, so it's got quite a big sidewall. I think the 17s that you could get as an option looked amazing, but yeah, it did make it quite a harsh ride. 15 is actually quite nice. Audi A8. Do you know, there's a possibility I might be driving one of those very soon. It's not confirmed yet, but I'll let you know what it's like if I get to sit in one very soon. Peugeot 309, yeah, I'd love a Peugeot 309. I haven't driven one of those for years. What do I think of the 7 Series E65, the 2000 to 2008 generation? Go and ask Hoovy. It was the ultimate bangle butt and the least reliable car, possibly even more unreliable than my 5 Series, the E60, E61. So I'm scrolling back through the things again. I've already sorry, George, I did mention Hubnut's new Mitsubishi earlier. I think it's really cool. I've never driven one. I've seen so many. We used to have like Jap Fest and things up at Peterborough, wasn't it? There'd be fields and fields of them all decked out for off-road camping, and they looked so cool. I always thought they were brilliant. Do I play retro games? I haven't done for a long time, not since they were current. I do actually really quite retro games more than new games, to be honest. I actually won a NES, the original Nintendo NES. I won on a box of cereals when I was a teenager, and I won it, and it turned out all my parents were on holiday, and they came back, and they're like, "Where did you get the money for that?" And they couldn't understand where I acquired this NES from. But yeah, I really did enjoy that kind of period. .405 TDI diesel in 1990. That would have been pretty awesome. Oops. Where are we? Let's get back to the bottom again. Chris Berry salvage rebuilds. Oh, no, hang on, no, sorry. Mixing up two comments. Would I review a Mark 1 Clear? I'd love to. I thought I was going to find one to review last year, but it didn't turn up. In fact, I nearly bought one, but the guy wouldn't answer any of the emails when I was sending it to him. David, you messaged me about your 309 GTI, didn't you? Yeah, I'd love to take you up on that. 740, 745, 750. We're talking about BMWs, not Volvos. Yeah, cool and leak. They do everything wrong. Will I make Furious Driving stickers that stick from the inside? I haven't been able to yet, because everything currently, apart from the hats, go through Redbubble, because to do interior stickers I have to go and sort of actually find a printer, get them printed, and then have them sitting here, and then I haven't got an infrastructure for selling them. I have to just say, hey guys, I've got stickers, and hope people email me and then post them out as and when, which is quite tricky to do. It's harder than it sounds, believe it or not. But having said that, I've had the Furious Driving external window stickers on all of my cars now, and they've survived everything, jet washing quite frequently, snow foam, all sorts. So yeah, they're tougher than they look, and they look really good. And the clear ones look nice in the paint as well. Garage banners, oh, that'd be really cool. I don't know where you get one of them done. Cleo Williams, oh, they were so cool. I was wanting one of them. W202, yeah, they're quite cool, but they do rust a bit. Favorite YouTube channel? I don't really have a favorite. I watch an awful lot, not as much as I. The weird thing is about being on YouTube, you get into doing YouTube because you like watching YouTube, but then it's surprisingly time consuming, so you don't get to watch as much as you used to anymore because suddenly you find yourself sucked into doing it. But I've got a few favourites. I like Hoovy, obviously, he's quite fun when he's doing the more basic cars. Sam Cracker's quite entertaining. Rich Rebuilds, I like his attitude to doing stupid stuff. A lot of American people actually. Watch JR Go, I watch a lot. Laurie's Mechanical Marvels in the UK. I think I mentioned him previously. There's a guy called Bruce Wilson who does up vintage tractor trailers, as in American HGVs. There are quite a few, but I don't really get a chance to watch nearly half of them just because I'm always either filming or editing, and editing takes forever. Citroen C6 VTS, they are very cool. It's one of those cars that was everywhere and they're gone. Merc 190E, I thought they were so cool back in when they were new. They look so classy and so fast. Someone texted that my curry's just arrived. Yeah. Oh, P6 in full police trim. Were you in Kent for some by any chance? Because there's a white jam sandwich one in Kent. And there's a blue Metropolitan Police one, which is actually still technically a police car, which the Met have got. What's quickest, the Alpha or the Tomcat? They're actually really evenly paced in terms of acceleration, but because I've tweaked the the Rover's suspension, the Rover actually handles better than the Alpha now, which is quite a surprise. There's the big light up sign. I've been looking for one for absolutely ages, and I finally found it in an antique shop on eBay, and so I just had to have it. It was from a Italian Alfa Romeo dealer, and it somehow wound up in the UK, and I then made the background for it. So I bought an LED light from Machine Mart or Screwfix or somewhere and made the backing board and did all the business. Best polish to get rid of swirl marks. The thing I've been using recently is from Diamond Bright, and it's called One Cut, and that's really good. You need to use it on an electric polisher of some kind, and I used it on the Volvo, which was really heavily swirled and marked, and that's made a huge difference to that. Mercedes V6 diesel, yeah, they're cool actually. They're chunky. I'll give it another 2 or 3 minutes because then my curry will be dished up. Now I'll say goodbye to you in a few minutes. Crusher 300C, I think they're really cool, but you only get them in auto, so that's why I've not bought one. I nearly bought one. I bought the Mercedes actually. If I had to import a daily retro classic for Eastern Europe, from Eastern Europe, a Trabant or a Lada, I'll go Trabant actually. I think they're kind of a bit more different era. Yeah, Merc 190 would be very cool indeed. Yeah, we were planning on doing some crossover videos with LMM, Laurie's Mechanical Marvels, this summer, but it's all kind of like everything else on hold at the moment. They're very fun people. They're really nice, genuine guys. That's quite a comparison, Adam, going from a Mini Cooper to a 5-litre CLK. What future cars do I want to own? Quite a variety, and you can't really pigeonhole everything I was thinking tomorrow. I've been looking at pre-war cars on eBay this week mostly. Started off looking at Austin 7s, but I would really like a Singer or something else Roots Group, and I've seen a couple, but I can't really justify going and buying anything right now. But I want a Crown Victoria, I want a Chevy Caprice wagon from the 90s, I want a Corvette C4, I would like an Imp, I'd like an original Mini. Oh god, there's just endless list of cars. Oh, Ford Focus ST. Sorry, yes, I was about to say that. A Mark 1 Focus ST 170. I'd love one of those. Huh. Don't get rid of the Merc or the Volvo. I hear that an awful lot. Thanks for using the board in the lockdown. You are welcome. Do you know what? It helped me get through it as well, to be honest, having something to do, because my work was completely stopped, or for the most part, completely stopped. I had like 2, maybe 3 clients I did a little bit of work at home for, but mostly I was not working at all for the entire period. So doing this would give me something to focus on. Oh, you did a Trabant safari. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Going around Berlin in a Trabant, that'd be awesome. I did a similar thing in Havana in a Pontiac Star Chief quite a few years ago now. That was really fun to do. Would I have a classic Ford? I don't think I could afford a classic Ford because Ford tax makes really ordinary cars ridiculously expensive. If one came up at the right price, I would have no problem with a classic Ford. I don't know which one I'd go for, to be honest, though. I like the Orions from the 80s. Oh, here's a good one. What are my plans for the Sinclair C5? I want to. Well, it's got no internal organs at the moment. It's been completely gutted. But I would like to get a more power. I was thinking of getting like an invalid carriage type thing and using the gubbins of that to make it go. But I would like to uprate it so it's more powerful, better range, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Capri's just cost a stupid amount of money these days. Rover P5 V8, I'd love one of those. That's one of those cars I've come close to buying on time. Oh, Aging Wheels, I've forgotten Aging Wheels. I love. He's a really cool channel. Yeah, would I like to really off-the-wall car, and if so, which one? I think that with those kind of cars, you don't really go out hunting for them. You just kind of stumble across them. If something really bizarre turns up, you just kind of wind up with it and go with it, just because it's just fun. Which is really how I wound up with most of my cars. There's very few I've actually gone out thinking, today I'm going to go and buy. And the Alfa 145 and the Mini Cooper are kind of the 2 things I've deliberately bought. Sinclair C5 are not big money. You can get a really good one for like 500 quid at the most, really. So anything I chuck into it is probably dead cash, really. So it's just for fun. Citroen C6, we've had the conversation already tonight. Those are popular cars. Do you know? Yeah, I would love to have a classic. Oh, you go. What classic Ford would I have? I would buy a Mark 1 Transit car transporter, so I can go and buy stuff. Right. What's a garbage run? I haven't considered doing it because I don't know what they are. But try a motorbike engine in Sinclair. Capris. I like Capris, but I think they're a lot of money for what they are. A Lincoln from the 70s, yeah, they're very cool indeed. Oops. Nearly put someone in the sin bin by mistake then. And I'm not selling the W123 just yet. I want to see it running. The thing is, if the engine is not fixable economically, it's engine swap time. Get a modern AMG engine for a few £100 off eBay, get the Rover V8 engine sorted out, then just move on to an engine swap on the Mercedes instead, or do EV on that. I'd love to do EV on that. Well, keep the Volvo and Mercedes. Ideally, what my plan is, slightly dream time here, get a unit, get a farm barn or something, get storage so I can keep everything in the fleet together and just expand the fleet into a fleet. Almost. Do I like electric cars? Yes, I do. They're interesting. They're not necessarily as fun as a petrol car because you miss a lot of the gears, the noise, the smells. But yeah, they're good in that it will save the limited amount of petrol for us who want to drive old petrol cars. But yeah, I think hydrogen will be the way forward though, because then you can actually convert petrol cars to hydrogen and keep the classics going with that. So I'd like to see hydrogen happen as a concept take off. Oh God, this is not great. Can I work for you? Yeah, it'd have to be voluntary because I wouldn't be able to pay you. I did look at using e-bike parts actually. I was at a company doing some photos where they import e-bikes and they had a crashed one and asked about buying some of the components, but they were like thousands of pounds. It would have been mental if it had worked. Right, I'm going to say goodbye right now because my curry is going cold, and there's a lovely pint of shepherd neem next to it. I don't know. My wife ordered what the curry was, so the only thing I know for sure is got Peshawari naan because I love them. Any idea when the Rev P6? Last question of the night. Any idea when the P6 is going to run? Hopefully in the next few weeks. Fingers crossed. Right. Thank you for coming along, everybody. Hope you have a lovely evening. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you all very soon indeed. Punto wasn't for sale, by the way. That was an owner's car. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all. Yeah, say goodbye again. It's always a fun. I will enjoy the curry. I'm starving right now. Right, I'm going to end this. This is like every Zoom conversation everyone's had over the last 2 months. How do you turn this thing off? Right, thanks, guys. I'll speak to you all soon. I found the X button. Good night.